Right, so welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well, and I hope you've kind of gotten over the disappointing result at the weekend. If your weekend was ruined by the loss against Brighton, not to worry, we're going to come back with some Leeds transfer news to hopefully pick up our spirits and get us back into the swing of things. Before we start though, please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. We are hoping to break 1,000 subscribers, and that would mean we can get out some more content, get it out quicker, and really up some of the production levels and bring you all of the Leeds content that you want to see. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That would be amazing. Now, jumping straight into it, the name that seems to be that has cropped up over the last couple of days that Leeds are interested in is Jan Danda. The young attacking midfielder currently plays for Swansea City, making 12 appearances for Steve Cooper's side, with a goal and an assist to his name already in the Championship. Danda hasn't featured too heavily in the Swansea side so far, which would kind of be the reason why his numbers are a little bit low. But Leeds look to be really interested in him. Football outlets all over are currently saying the same thing. And that really is that Leeds are potentially looking to offload Tyler Roberts to make room for Jan Danda to slip right in. Now, I saw Danda play in the Championship last year when we were amongst the other Championship clubs, and when we played Swansea, obviously. He impressed me. He's a flair player, really creative, and has a penchant for going forwards and attacking with some real intent. One of those Championship players that you know wouldn't look out of place in a Premier League team, and he really impressed me from when I saw him play for Swansea a couple of times in the Championship. He's pumped out some good performances, and I think he would be a really good fit to the Leeds squad. We'll talk about the areas that we desperately need to improve on. Jan Danda is very much a central player. I think currently for Swansea he plays just behind their attacking two, thriving on picking up the ball in tight spaces and then feeding it into the feet of the two attacking men. So in the lead system, he would very much play in kind of the Rodrigo click role. And I've got to say, from seeing him and seeing the performances from those two, I mean, listen, Rodrigo is our record signing, £27 million. I don't think he works as a kind of midfield player because he doesn't offer a whole lot defensively. We've seen how many times he gets caught out tracking back, or how his defensive work rate isn't quite up to scratch. And that puts a lot of pressure on Klich to perform in a defensive role. And if he's having a bad game, or he's not at the races for that day, it means our midfield has been completely wiped out. We've got a lot of emphasis in the wide areas and the channels. But then in the middle of the pack, we've got three players really. And at the moment, that's Rodrigo, Klich, and then Phillips when he's back into the squad. Rodrigo and Klich don't have too much of a defensive... they don't really have any defensive inclination. So it does mean that, constantly in the games now, we're seeing our midfield being overrun. But Danda is very much I would say a squad player. A bit of a younger Pablo Hernandez, I think, would be a fair comparison. We know that we need a replacement for Pablo. He's not getting any younger, and Jan Danda could be the person to fill in that role. I think he's got the talent, he's got the creativity, and he would thrive in the Premier League. I think he's talent-wise, he's in there with the likes of the Said Ben Rahmas and the Jared Bowens, who have gone on to do bits at West Ham. So Danda would be fantastic if we can grab him. There's a lot of sources currently stating that Leeds have got him in their sights, how interested we are in him. He's currently got a value of around £1 million according to Transfermarkt, but if you look at the position that Swansea are in at the moment, they're second in the Championship, chasing promotion. It would take probably an overpriced bid to convince them to let Danda go anywhere. Now, I'm not too up to date on Swansea's current kind of player positions and everything, but I believe a couple of their attacking players are being recalled from loans. Morgan Gibbs-White comes to mind. So that would make them even less likely to want to sell Danda in this window. But he seems to be a player that's really kind of touted after. Leeds are interested, Bielsa seems to be interested, and I think we are desperate to fill in two positions for me. That is an attacking creative midfielder, kind of a number 8 role, and a more defensive-minded midfielder, more of a number 6. And the two names that, for me, the defensive option is Eric Pulgar. That solves that. And that's so important that we get that done in the near future. And then the attacking midfielder, we know we were interested in Rodrigo de Paul in the summer. That didn't work out. His price range was too high. Jan Dander is a good alternative, and I've never been against picking the cream of the crop from the Championship. Lots of other clubs do that. West Ham and Crystal Palace are notorious for stripping the real standout best players from Championship clubs. You think of Eze, Benrahma, Bowen, Watkins going to Aston Villa. So I really do think the Leeds should look to maybe poach a couple of the players from the Championship. Leave in the comments if you think there are any standout Championship players that you'd like to see integrated into the Leeds squad if we could get them. The young lad from Reading comes to mind. Is it Elise? Michael Elise? Elise? As an attacking player, I know a couple of people were interested in him. Again, someone that I think would fit in really well at Leeds. But we've got to come down to earth a little bit now. We know that we're 2 weeks into the transfer window now, and there's been nothing concrete, nothing kind of really going on. All we have are rumours here and there with no huge credibility. And we know that Angus Kinnear and the guys at the top have already said that we're going to have a really, really quiet January. Realistically, do I see us bringing in anyone? I'd love us to bring in a couple of players. I think we need to bring in a couple of players to cement our position in the Premier League. Do I think they're going to get done? I've got to be honest, no is the answer to that. I really don't think that Leeds will do any business. I think they're content with what they've got. And I think that's dangerous because we've already seen if we suffer injuries, if we have suspensions. We've been lucky this year with injuries to our forward players. I know our backline's been decimated, but if we start getting injuries to Bamford, Click, Rodrigo, Rafinha, if some of these players start getting sidelined, our squad becomes a Championship level team. So maybe it's a little bit naive to think that we'll be safe and that we don't need investment. I think we clearly do need investment. And I'm not sure we should be waiting for the summer to start doing some deals again. I would really love to see Eric Pulgar come in to solve the defensive problems. For me, the midfield is where we need an overhaul because that's constantly where we're overrun. So another defensive midfielder and an attacking creative midfielder, whether that be Jan Dander, a Rodrigo de Paul, or one of these other names that are being thrown around. That is a position where we need to strengthen the most. And just a quick little mention about Aston Villa's favourite reject, Gabby Agbonlahor. It's piping up again with a few more comments after our recent loss. Agbonlahor mentioning that Leeds have to sort out their pitch and that it's not up to Premier League standard. As much as I'd like to bash him for not knowing what he's talking about, he does have a point. I think our pitch is worse than many Championship clubs at this point, and it's so detrimental to the way we play. And it's something that really needs sorting in the near future if we want to have any chance of progressing. And then also questioning the Leeds style of play, again, labelling it naive and that we have to be more cautious. We know this is going to happen, and pundits and other football YouTubers will take the opportunity to bash on Leeds now purely because of the popularity that we got at the start of the season. It's going to happen. It's natural. We're going to need to accept it and just take what happens. We know that under Bielsa we're going to suffer a few heavy losses. But on the flip side, we're gonna enjoy a few fantastic wins. We've just got to hope now that the wins come a little bit sooner. That's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Leave a comment on a player that you'd like to pinch from the Championship. And yeah, where are the areas that we need to strengthen the most, either in January or in the summer. And again, please remember to subscribe. We are on that goal to 1,000 subscribers, and it just helps the channel out, and it enables us to produce more content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's super important, and we'll get some more content out for you. That's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.